Hello, I'm Myrna Gabriel. In this video I will read to you the prologue of my book, The Forces of Nature. It's an epic YA fantasy book with an elemental magic system and a big adventure. So let's start. The sound of distant carriages echoed in the empty tunnels like roaring thunder. It was dark when he gained consciousness. 40-year-old coach driver did not know where he was, but he could remember what happened to him. Gangs had stopped his stagecoach while he was on the road to the Red Mountain and forced him to step out. He had nothing of any value, so he wrongly thought they wanted to take his coach. They had weapons, and he knew he couldn't fight them, so he chose to comply. Then everything went black. He could feel his head hurting where he was hit as he tried to stand. He walked dizzily towards the light and came out of the round opening of a dead-ended underground tunnel, only to find himself in an underground junction of 4 tunnels. The man sighed as he realized where he was. How was it possible that he didn't know? The underground network of tunnels was practically his home. However, he didn't remember ever seeing the tunnels so empty or lined with stacks of crated goods before. But then as he realized what that meant, his heart raced. He was at the part of the net that nobody dared enter. It was where the tunnel's gang lived. The white tunnels where the underground criminals took refuge were dimly lit by few scattered lanterns. The driver knew he had to get out of that place. He believed in his instinct and in his years of working through the net of tunnels to get him out. As he leapt towards the middle tunnel, he saw 3 big men with axes coming out of it. Then more armed gangsters came through the tunnel on the right. The driver had nowhere else to run for but the left side tunnel. However, when he turned to leave, he was startled by the sight of something dark coming out of it that froze him in his place. It was a short person covered in black from head to toe. The driver could not see her face. He realized it was a hunched old woman with long black hair coming down to her waist. She was small and held a walking stick, but her sudden appearance sent shivers down his spine. The driver stepped back away from her, but 2 men held him and brought him to a chair where he was made to sit. The woman said something in an obscure language that the driver had never heard before, and suddenly he felt paralyzed. It was like he was held back to the chair with invisible chains. The woman went and tore his sleeve, then she pinched his arm with a needle. After that, she drew 2 circles on the ground using strange black sand. One of the circuits went around the man's chair, and in the other the woman placed a dark metal ball. She threw more of her black sand inside the ball and spoke her incantations. Black flames burst out inside the ball. The woman threw the needle that was covered with the man's blood into the fire and continued muttering in the same language. The driver's eyes goggled as he watched in fear a rope of smoke that came out of the fire and sneaked towards him in stealthy silence. He tried to move, but he couldn't even tilt his head away from the approaching trail of smoke that he finally breathed all in. The man's head dropped, and for a second the gangsters thought he was dead. But then the witch went and spoke to him, and he responded. "Who are you?" asked the witch, her voice shrill and steady. The man answered soberly. "I'm your servant," he said. Hey, so if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. In my next videos I will be reading more excerpts from other chapters. If there is a specific chapter you want me to read, please let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching and see you in the next video.